Welcome to the Live Your Best Life webinar. We're so excited to have you here. Gosh, we've been working on this for so long, and I'm so excited to actually introduce it to you today. So let me tell you what we're going to be talking about. This webinar will help you begin the process of really creating the life you want to live by helping you understand your unique vision and values. By following the steps of this course, it's really 25 years of content the course includes, and it's cultivating all these stories and experience and helping you design and live your best life. And one more thing, I want you all to stay to the very end because I have a very special gift that I'm going to reward you with if you stay here all the way to the end. I promise it'll be worth your time. I want to take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Nicole Mayer, and I'm super excited to be here. I have quite a story, and my journey has gotten to me to where I am today, living my best life. I was introduced to Josh about 13 years ago, and it was by a whim. I was loving what I was doing, but just not in the environment. I loved helping people, planning for people, and helping them. I didn't know then that I was helping create their best life, but I was helping them create their best life. I just wasn't in the right environment. I met Josh, and he's been my mentor ever since. And we've collaborated and brought both of our experiences and both of our journeys together to help people to and through their transitions in life, and also so that they can start living their best life. A little bit about me. I started out living the dream. You graduate from college, you're going to have a great job, you're going to start making money, everything is going to be picture perfect, and you're going to start living that white picket fence life. And then life happens. Everything that you don't expect, from a health scare, a tumor on my liver, to getting married, having a child, getting divorced, and then dealing with my spouse losing his job. So all this stuff jam-packed in a matter of 5 years. And I really think it was meant to be. It was meant to be so I can experience it, so that I can help others overcome obstacles that they have in life and realize what's important and how to live their best life. That's enough about me. Really, what I want to do is introduce Josh right now and kind of take you back to where it all started.
All right. Well, thanks, Nicole. And I'll tell you, your story is awesome. And I think everybody that's with us today has a story. My own story goes back, okay, for 26 years I've been at this. But before I got into the financial life management and coaching world, I was actually in corporate America. I too was living the dream. I graduated from college on a Thursday. I started work on a Monday. I never looked back. I was in corporate America working for a pharmaceutical company. Everything was great. But I really started to dislike the corporate environment. And it was after realizing that no matter how good the path may have sounded that I was on, I realized I needed to take a little bit of a detour to make sure that I would be able to live a life that I was really happy and passionate and excited about, as opposed to what corporate America wanted me to do. So with all of that, along the way, I made a change from corporate America into the financial life management and coaching world, where I was fortunate enough to find my own mentor. And that mentor allowed me to work with Fortune 500 companies and doing planning for people as they were going through some form of life or job transition. And it was really satisfying and rewarding. Not too long after I had started, well, maybe I shouldn't say not too long. Now that I say this is my 26th year, I'm getting older here, but I would say probably about 6-7 years into my journey is when Nicole, you and I had met for the first time. And I got to tell you, it has been such an incredible inspiration for me to be able to guide you and see how far you've come. So I'm really proud of that, and I'm really excited to share everything that we've worked through individually, things that we've done together and that we've done for our clients. I'm really excited to share that with the group we've got watching with us today.
That's awesome. And I really want to get into what we've created. We have spent thousands of hours and really with thousands of clients in understanding their situation and what everyone needs. And not every client can meet with us, and not every client's here in the Chicagoland area. So one of the things that we wanted to do was create an online course and really give guidance and advice that's not available in the mainstream to everybody to help them start living their best life, or going through a job transition or divorce or helping aging parents. Help them get to and through those things so that they can be on the path to living their best life.
No doubt. And one thing I'll say here too is not only aren't people necessarily geographically located where we are, but I think it's also very rare that people have the opportunity to engage in a process like this. When we started, we were getting paid by corporations to provide these services to their employees. Well, the corporations paid. Not every individual would be able to afford the services that we were providing. So one thing, over the last number of years that was really important to us was to make sure that we could deliver this message to the masses and to basically put the word out that, hey, you know what, this stuff doesn't have to be a secret. It's not reserved for, big corporate America or big money. Everybody is on a path and everyone is on a journey. What we want to do is we want to help highlight the parts of that journey that are truly important to them and make sure that they're pointed in the right direction to get to whatever destination they're looking for safely and on time. So Nicole, we've worked together for 13 years and I'm really excited, but you got to tell me, what have you put together for all of these people that have joined us today?
Well, let me tell you, I'm going to share with a couple tools that go into the Live Your Best Life course specifically. Like I said, there's many courses and a lot of content we continue to create within our program. But in the Live Your Best Life course, one of the things we go through is comparison. Now, I know you guys have all been there, and we live in a world with so much social media, and some of you are actually probably here from social media, and you're seeing what everyone else does, what everyone else has, and you're always comparing yourself to someone else. I'm going to tell you stop. And we're going to go through some exercise on how you're not comparing. I get this question a lot. Nicole, do I have the same amount of money as someone my age? Am I good compared to other people like me? Whatever. You're always comparing to someone else. Quit it. We don't want you comparing to anyone else. Your life is unique to you, just like your fingerprint is unique to you. There's only one person that has your fingerprint, and it's you. Your life is the same way. So we really dig deep and talk about comparisons. And then one other thing I really dig into that I'll give you a sneak peek on is, how do you want to be remembered? We hear this line all the time: live like it's your last day always. And, every day, seize every day. But what does that mean? Really, what does that mean? Are you waking up every day and you're happy, doing the same thing, going to work every day, seeing your kids or grandkids? Maybe, maybe not. Living with a purpose is, that's how you seize the day. You're living with a purpose, and it's how you want to be remembered. So you may be loving life, getting in your car, going to work every day, seeing the same people, doing a job that you love, and you're living with a purpose. And you may not be. And if you're not, we have to figure out how you want to be remembered. If you're not here tomorrow, what do you want people to say? One of the exercises is write your own eulogy. Yes, you heard me right. I said write your own eulogy. How are you going to be remembered? Are you living each day to be remembered like your last? These are just some of the exciting things that we go through in the course to help you start living your best life. I can't wait for you to jump inside and start going through some of these tools. Again, it's 25 years of experience and with clients that we have accumulated all these tools and exercises to get you living your best life sooner. And I think once people start to dig into this online course, they're really going to realize that their journey is so different than everyone else's, and what they value is so different. And no matter where they are in life, whether you're just graduating from college or you're on the end of your career path and you're about ready to transition into retirement, you can start living your best life today. And if the world hasn't taught us, certainly in the last year, that we have to be more aware, we have to put our values first, and we can control the controllables, this course sure will. And it'll teach you how to get to and through any transition that you might be going through, and also to really realize what is important to you and designing a life around that.
That's so well said, Nicole. And what's funny is we've been talking about living your best life together for the last 13 years. And when we would talk about it, it was kind of like, a really small part of the population kind of like understood what we were talking about. But now, what I'll say, certainly through COVID, there's a lot more people that have actually taken a step back and realized what's truly important to them. So now I feel like our platform is just that much bigger, and there's so many more people that are engaged and that really want to take the next step to not just talking about living their best life, but really defining and understanding what it is that's going to make them feel happy or successful. And it's all on their own terms, nobody else's, which is really, really cool. So I'm really excited for this.
Absolutely. I'm so excited too. And Josh, tell me, is there anyone or any one client or story that sticks out to you that we've taken through the Live Your Best Life that has just, it's turned their life around? Can you think of anyone?
Yeah, I actually just got an email from a client. They've been with us for a long time. We'll call them Bob and Sue. So, Bob initially came to us as he was going through a job transition. He was in the advertising world, which is a very transient industry. We were paid to take Bob and his colleagues that were being downsized through a process just to make sure that they would be okay going through transition mentally, financially, emotionally, and get them prepped for the next job. Well, long story short, we've been working with Bob and Sue for a long time, just working on their finances, making sure that they understood that as long as they saved this amount of money, then they could spend whatever else they wanted above and beyond that, whether it's on travel or on their kids or whatever else. Well, Bob ended up leaving a job, and he was really, really nervous he wasn't going to find another one. The industry in advertising is just getting younger and younger, and as we all know, none of us are getting younger. So he ended up getting a job that was really, really awesome. It required him to move out to California for a period of time. His wife stayed here in Chicago. I just got an email from him today that he's being let go. And that kind of hit home for me, like, oh my gosh, well, how am I going to respond to this? And the backstory here is we've been talking about him leaving his job and leaving the workplace. First and foremost, his wife was diagnosed with cancer. So it was putting work in a totally different perspective for him than it had before. Work was a means to make money so that eventually they could stop working and enjoy their life together. Well, certainly with Sue's life now kind of coming into question and how long she might be here, that put things in a different perspective. So for the last 6 months or so, we've been working together on just revisiting, hey, what is really important in life now? If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you be doing? And we've been talking through this now for the last 6 months. So when I got the email, my email reply was, okay, so it's finally happening. We've been talking about it and planning for it for all this time. If it wasn't for the fact that we've been going through this process with him for the last 6 months, he would certainly have been off course.
Josh, that was a great story about Bob and Sue. But for those people who aren't going through some form of transition, what about them? What have you taken them through?
So here, everyone is in some form of transition, right? Anyone that is joining us on this webinar today, they're in some form of life transition, and it may just be like a wake up. They're having an awakening and they're finally realizing that, hey, I'm doing all of these things. I'm living my life by default. I get up every morning, I go to work, I come home from work, I have dinner, I go out, I do this, I go to sleep, I wake up, I do the same thing. It's living life by default. Everyone that's on this webinar is going through some form of transition where they're coming to a realization or an awakening, where they're being put in control of their own definition of what success looks like to them. So for all of those people out there that are finally awakening and wanting to improve their life, you've come to the right place. Going through and defining what's truly important in life to you and being able to build your life and build it by design and not live it by default, this course is going to be awesome for you. And Nicole, I have to tell you, I am so absolutely proud of you for having the courage to put this in motion and get this out there to the masses.
Thanks, Josh. I'm super excited. It's not always easy to share our personal journeys and our personal stories and sometimes the most intimate things of our lives and struggles we've gone through. But I'm happy to share if it helps someone else start living their best life sooner than later. And I don't want a major event to happen for someone to say, hey, life is important. I got to start living now.
Hey, Nicole, one last thing. I'd like to just send a shout out to our existing Second Opinion Partners family and our Live Your Best Life family, and just realize, like, hey, if you're still hanging in there on this webinar, I just want to thank you. And I want to put this out there just to say that, hey, we have put this together so that you don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to have come to us through a corporation. We want you to be able to share this with all of your friends and family and make sure that they have the same opportunity for growth that you had. So I'm really happy that Nicole's included me in this and that she's put this together so that we could share this with our existing clients and their friends and family too.
Hi, it's Nicole Mayer. I promised you if you finish listening to that webinar that there would be a gift at the end, and there sure is a gift. There is a code to get 20% off the course. The code is webinar20. That code again is webinar20. Not only will you get 20% off the course, but if you use the coupon code, you'll also get a copy of our book, Navigating Life's Transition, Finding Your True Wealth. We are really excited to have you join us in the course. Can't wait to see you inside.
Thank you all for joining me today and staying on this webinar. I'm so excited for you all to start living your best life. And Josh, thank you for taking time to join us as well. I will be live in the comments here on YouTube, so feel free to drop me a line, send me a DM on Instagram, or certainly don't worry, you can definitely contact me via email if that's better at info@findyourbestlifenow. Or check us out online at www.findyourbestlifenow.com. I am so excited for you to start living your best life, joining us on the course, and certainly on some of our social media platforms where we are very active, whether it's Instagram Live or Facebook groups. We have it all to help you start living your best life.